Okay, we are live. Just Hi everybody. Today we are going to um, discuss several presentations about Google Summer of Code. Actually, Google Summer of Code is one of the most known programs which supports open source communities, and this program exists for more than 10 years. So there were many organizations which participated in this project, and there were more than 10,000 students. On this year, there are 1,200 students and almost 200 organizations participating in this project. And on this year, Jenkins also joined the project, and we applied to Google Summer of Code, and our application has been accepted. So on this year, Jenkins participating in GSoC, and we have several commitments, and of course we have students who work with the community as a part of this project. This is the first year when Jenkins participates in GSoC. Previously we have applied 2 times, but it was long ago. Now we decided to apply and to align these activities with Jenkins 2. So the idea was to focus on UX for users and to provide much additional features and provide more usability for plugin users. We had about 9 different project ideas. In total, we had 15 mentors and 3 org admins in this project. And during the application period, we got dozens of applications. I cannot say how much applications we got, but it was a pretty big number. And thanks to all mentors, org admins, and of course to students for helping to process these applications and to for their cooperation. In total, maybe we had more than 30 meetings during application period, and it's a huge number. In total, we accepted 5 applications. One application is related to Jenkins core web UI improvements. 2 projects are related to plugin ecosystem. It's about support core plugin and external workspace manager. And 2 other projects are related to project infrastructure. One is about plugin and Jenkins statistics analysis, and another one is about automated plugin documentation publishing. Now there are 4 active projects, and for these projects we are going to have presentations during these midterm evaluations. Actually, this midterm evaluation covers only 1 month of coding and another month of community bonding, during which we were working on designs for these projects. So it's just the beginning of Google Summer of Code. After midterm evaluation, we will have 2 additional months of coding, and at final evaluations you will see the finalized projects. But for all projects, we think that there is some which could be interested to Jenkins developers and users. So we would like to conduct presentations during midterm evaluations. And we are going to have 2 meetings. One meeting is today. There will be 3 presentations. Firstly, Minudika will talk about support core plugin, then Alex will talk about external workspace manager, and then there will be a presentation of documentation by Cynthia. Tomorrow there will be 1 presentation by Samad. He has 1 mentor located in Australia, so we moved this presentation to European Union morning. Please also join this presentation session, and if you are unable to join, we are going to record both sessions, and these recordings will be published soon. If you have any questions during the presentation, on the left side of your YouTube application you can find QA tab, and once you click on it you will be able to ask questions. And after each presentation, we will process the most popular questions. Students will answer them. And if there is something else, we will be able to follow up after the meeting. Another way to ask questions is to ask them in the Jenkins IRC channel. I will be monitoring this channel and will also process interesting questions coming in this channel. That's all from my side. I would like to switch the presenter, and Minodik is going to present his slides.
Thanks, Oleg.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm going to present.
Okay.
So, can you see my slides? Oh.
Yes, and you're on the main screen now.
Okay. Hi everyone, and it's a real pleasure to meet you all and present my project. Before start, let me do a little introduction about myself. Uh, I'm Minudika Marchan from Sri Lanka, and I am following my major in computer science and engineering from University of Moratuwa, and I'm a huge fan of open source development. And when talking about the project, before start talking about the project, let me tell one another thing. This is my first time I'm doing a GSoC project, and it's a whole new experience for me, and I'm trying to do my best for this project. My project is related with Jenkins plugin. Uh, when talking about the project, I'm doing a project related to Jenkins plugins, and Jenkins has a large infrastructure which is consisted with 1,000 plus plugins. In this project, I'm working on improving the usability of support flow plugin. Let me uh, explain a little bit about this support co plugin. Whenever system administrator wants to check out the information of the server, Jenkins server, or whenever a bug appears within the server, it is important to have a collection of necessary support information of the system in order to debug or resolve that issue. So support core plugin comes in handy at this point. It generates bundles which contains information related to the Jenkins server and allow privileged users to refer to them and check the stats of the server. So in the project goals, I have three. I have to implement three new features, three main new features. One is the bundle management by the administrator. I will share the ticket numbers of these three implementations after this presentation. First thing is the bundle management by the administrator. That's the part what I have done until the meet evaluations. Other two parts I have to do. The second one is add an option to anonymize the string labels, uh, which is created by user. And the other one is allow user to create an issue and submit it with a bundle into the OSS tracker using the support core plugin. Last two features haven't been implemented yet, but the first feature has been implemented uh, now. Um, Up to now, I have working on the first implementation as the bundle management by administrator, and under this main task, I have implement four subtasks, and they are you can see on the screen. Uh, I will list them briefly. I have to implement this task to list bundles which have been already generated within the server, and then allow users to select bundles and download them, and also select bundles and delete them, and purge all bundles. So I will do a quick demo of these features, and I think it will help you to understand about these new implementations. Let me share my screen. I think you can see my screen. Uh, this is the home page of the support core plugin, and uh, when I click on the create bundle, this is the uh, feature the support core plugin does have currently. Uh, it allows users to create bundles and download them, uh, and then talking about my implementations, this is the listing bundle, and in this section we can uh, download bundles and delete bundles whenever the way uh, whatever the user selecting with. If user select a bundle and check download and submit it, it will download it. You can see here the downloaded bundle, and you can also download multiple bundles. Okay, you can see those selected two bundles have been downloaded, and also you can select a bundle and select delete and submit it. It will be deleted, and also then we can purge bundles when we go to the configuration section. It allows us to enter the maximum number of days which we are supposed to keep those bundles in the server. If we give 10 or 100 days, it will be saved, and every bundle which is older than 100 days will be deleted uh, whenever the server starts, and from that time every 24 hours. So it will be running every 24 hours. uh, then I can show you an example. So I have manually edited some old bundles, and I will give here 1 day and save it. When I go to the support code and browse bundles, it will list all the bundles. Some of those bundles are older than 1 day. So I'm going to restart the server. Okay. It's taking some time. Okay. Server is restarted. Here you can see whenever the server is started, it will delete all the bundles older than 1 day. So it will be happen once per every 24 hours or 1 day. That's about my implementation. I have done some little changes on the support plugin homepage. The previous homepage was actually this section, so I have make some new things, and I think that's about my presentation. If you have questions about my implementation, I'll be happy to answer for them. Hello.
So are you waiting for questions, right?
Yeah, if you
Yeah, Tyler asks, have you already merged these changes or are you working on it?
sorry.
Have you already merged these changes to the Master of Support core plugin or are you working on it?
I didn't get that question actually.
So there's still waiting to be merged. There's a few things that need to be fixed, but it's going to be merged soon.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a question from Martin. Do you see the comments?
Currently, we cannot choose the time for the bundle cleanup, but we can choose the number of days for age of the bundle. So if we enter 10 days, it will be deleted all the bundles which are older than 10 days. So no,
I don't know, Martin. Martin, if you want to say about when it occurs or what is the meaning of your...
if we need the frequency of the deleting operation, I think I can add that feature to this implementation.
How is it working for now, Minudika? It is a cron tab, it is a cron job which is executed every day at a given hour, or every day after the server started, or something like this.
Deleting operation will be performed every 24 hours, once per every 24 hours from the time which server is started.
Okay. I think it replies to
24 hours.
24 every day.
Yeah. And do I have still time?
I think you do, but if we are done, I guess we could move forward.
Okay.
Yes, if there is no other questions, I'm just checking the chat. There is no questions.
For the YouTube attendees, you can actually ask questions through YouTube, and we should be able to see them appear on the right. For Minudika, if you click on the left, I think you have a Q&A thing, but currently there are no questions. So we'll see in the next follow-up if there are questions here.
Okay. No new questions. If any question appears, just feel free to ask them. We will have another session at the end of the presentations, and support core project has its own Gitter chat, so you can join this Gitter chat and ask questions there. Maybe I could provide a link later in the blog post. Okay, Alex, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Thanks a lot, Minudika.
Thanks.
Alex, you don't share the screen.
Okay, I have started sharing my screen now. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I can start, right?
No, just a second. The YouTube presentation still shows another present screen. Oops. Maybe I'm just missing something, but yes, YouTube hasn't switched to your screen. What's going on?
Now it did.
So I can start now. So can you see my slides?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So hello everyone, my name is Alexandru Șomai and my Google Summer of Code project is called External Workspace Manager Plugin. My mentors for this project are Oleg and Martin. A few words about myself. Currently, I'm following a major in software engineering at Babeș-Bolyai University of Cluj-Napoca, Romania. I have more than 2 years experience in software development. I enjoy coding in Java, Groovy, and JavaScript. The Java frameworks that I'm interested in are Spring and Hibernate. As build tools and continuous integration, I'm using Maven and Jenkins. So one of the problems that some users have is that it is quite difficult to reuse the same workspace for multiple jobs. For example, when running parallel testing across multiple nodes, as we know, some builds may have large files and copying them across nodes may prove to be slow. Actually, there are some possible solutions to achieve this, but each of them has its own drawbacks. For example, stashing or unstashing pre-made artifacts can be used only in a single pipeline job. If we choose to use the copy artifacts plugin, that may be slow. Or if we are going for the advanced job setting, then in this case, the workspace management logic has to be managed by the user. So in this case, the solution that I'm proposing is the External Workspace Manager plugin. The main focus is on pipeline jobs, and it facilitates workspace share and reuse across multiple nodes. So the concept is that we can have multiple nodes all mounting a same disk or even a disk pool. And then in the build pipeline, we can have one node for building the project, another node for testing, and even another node for staging. So by using this plugin, we will be able to share the same workspace across all these nodes. But actually, before using the plugin, the user needs to set up his infrastructure. So let's say, for example, we have 2 disk entries within a disk pool. Then it is mandatory to have a mounting point from the Jenkins master to each disk entry. And also for each our node instance, there needs to be defined a mounting point from the nodes to the disks. The mounting point paths will be defined in the Jenkins configurations, as we will see next. So here we are looking at a Jenkins global configuration that the plugin exposes. here we can have at least one disk pool, which is made up of the disk pool ID, the display name, and the summary description. Each disk pool must have at least one disk entry. So the disk entry contains a disk ID, a name, a master mount point, and the physical path on disk. So the master mount point is actually the mounting point from the Jenkins master to the actual node. And the physical path on disk will be used to compute the workspace path on the disk, as we will see next. So in this slide, on the left, we have a node configuration. Our node is labeled Linux, and we need to define the external workspace node property, in which we reference the disk pool ID from the Jenkins global config. And for each disk entry defined, we reference it by providing the disk ID, and also we need to specify the local root path. So the local root path parameter is actually the mounting point from the node to the disk. Following, we have a second node configuration. This time is labeled test. And as we can see from the mounting point that is specified, so this is the mounting point from the node to the disk, we can assume that this is a Windows machine. Okay, so what if we have multiple disk entries within our disk pool? How does the plugin allocate the appropriate disk? Well, the default strategy is to choose the disk with the most usable space, and the complete workspace path computation is based on the following formula. It starts with the mounting point, to which is appended the path on disk, followed by the job name, and lastly by the build number. All these may be subject for extensibility. Okay, so we have set up our plugin. Now we can use it. So here we have a pipeline job. Actually, it is a pipeline script. So what we are trying to achieve here is that on one node labeled Linux, we are trying to check out the code and perform build of the project. And then on another node labeled test, we will perform testing. So firstly, we call the XWS allocate step. We need to provide the disk pool ID. So this step will allocate the disk with the most usable space and will compute the workspace path on the disk. And then with the object returned by this step will be passed in as a parameter to the XWS step. So the XWS step will be able to compute the complete workspace path. So by this, we will be able to build the project on a node and run the tests on a different node by using the common workspace. Now let's have a look at a second example in which we have two different Jenkins jobs. So in the upstream job, we firstly allocate the workspace and then we run the build. And afterwards, by using this plugin in the downstream job, we will be able to allocate the same workspace that was used by the upstream job, and then we can perform testing. So this is the pipeline script for the upstream job. As you can see, there are no changes in the external workspace commands, but the changes that occur are in the downstream job. At this point, we are providing the upstream parameter to the XWS allocate step. So the value of the upstream has to be the upstream job full name. And this step, what we'll do, we'll be able to allocate the same workspace as used by the upstream job. So with this example, we will be able to run tests on a node within a job and on another node to build the project within another job. Okay, now let's have a look at a live demo of how this is working. So what I'm having here is a pipeline job, and I'm scrolling down to the pipeline script. So we can see that on the second line of the script, I'm calling the XWS allocate step by providing the disk pool ID. And then within the node labeled Linux, I'm calling the XWS step. So I'm performing a git checkout, and then I'm building the project by skipping the tests. Afterwards, in the node labeled test, I'm calling again the XWS step and performing the Maven test. So I'm scrolling up now, and I will trigger the build. So triggering the build. And now let's have a look in the console output. So I'm looking in the console output. We can see that we have some specific messages printed here. For example, it says that the selected disk ID is disk 2 from the disk pool ID, disk pool 1. So in our case, the disk 2 is the disk with the most usable space. And then this is the path that is computed on the disk. It follows the pattern that is the physical path on disk, followed by the job name and the build number, which is 29. And as soon as we call the XWS tab, we have a message saying running in and gives us the complete workspace path. And as we can see, it starts with the mounting point from the node to the disk and follow the path that was computed on the disk. So if I'm scrolling down now, we can see that the build has succeeded. And secondly, when we call the XWS step again within the node labeled test, we see again the same message saying running in and the complete path. And it starts with the mounting point from our node labeled test to the disk and followed by the complete path. And as we can see, our one test has succeeded and the build has succeeded. What I want to mention also is that the plugin has some basic UI for showing which disk was allocated and the complete path. So this can be accessed by clicking the external workspaces link on the left pane. So this is just a basic UI saying the disk pool ID selected, the disk ID, and the complete path on this that was selected. Okay, this was the first example, and now I'd like to show you the second example. So I'm having an upstream job located in the upstream folder, and it is called build. We are having a look at the configuration. So I'm scrolling down to check the pipeline script. So there are the same commands here for the external workspace. Just calling the XWS allocate step and the XWS step. And in this job, I'm just building the project. So I'll be scrolling up and I am triggering the build. So next, let's have a look in the console output. So checking the console output. So we have similar messages. The selected disk ID is 2, and the path on disk follows the pattern. In this case, is the project full name, and then it's followed by the current build number. And again, we have the messages saying that is running in and the complete workspace path. Okay, so in the meantime, the build has succeeded. Also, we can see again the external workspaces actions, the disk pool ID, the disk ID, and the complete path on disk. And now let's go to the downstream job. It's located in the downstream folder and it's called test. Let's have a look in the pipeline script. So in the pipeline script, I'm calling the XWS allocate by providing the upstream parameter with the upstream job full name. And within the node label test, I'm performing the Maven test command. So I'm scrolling up and building the project. And let's have a look in the console output. So this time it says it allocated the same disk as the first upstream job, and we can see that the complete path on disk is the same as for the upstream job. It has the upstream job full name, and this is the last stable build of the upstream job. And if we scroll down, the build has succeeded. And again, we can see the external workspaces that are allocated in here and the complete path. Okay, so this was the live demo. Next, I would like to mention the completed tasks so far. The main goal was to have a proof of concept version by June 20th, which was achieved. And what was not planned but was achieved was to have a basic UI for workspace allocation, and also an alpha version release has been done for this plugin. Regarding the community interaction, I and my mentors have set up public meetings on Jenkins Hangout. They are taking place twice a week, so if anyone is interested to join, you are invited to join us. I have posted, and I'll be posting status updates on the dev mailing list. We are having discussions mainly on the GitHub chat, and I have a project intro blog post on the Jenkins blogging page. In the future, I will try to get in touch with potential users to get more feedback. I'll perform alpha version testing, and based on the tasks that are defined in the epic, I'll perform task scrubbing. Some features that would be nice to be implemented are, for example, having an automatic workspace cleanup, integrating the plugin with external disk providers such as Google Cloud Storage, and provide extensibility for this plugin via extension points. Regarding the automation, I'm planning to write more functional tests, to write acceptance tests, and to define the Jenkins file within the plugin repository. Here are some useful links, like the link to the project repository, the link to the GitHub chat, and the link to the blog post. The design document is shared on the Google Docs, and the phase 1 and phase 2 epics are defined in Jira. So as I've mentioned before, we have performed an alpha version release of this plugin, so it is public available for testing. There are some usage guidelines in the plugin README page. So here the user can see a basic setup of this plugin, and then the documentation is followed by 2 examples. The examples are for pipeline jobs, and they have a description of what's going on. Okay, so any feedback is welcome, and you can provide it on Jira or on GitHub. So yeah, before starting the Q&A session, I'd like to mention that if anyone has questions after this meeting, feel free to ask on the GitHub chat. Thank you for your attention. So are there any questions?
Yes, there are several questions. Actually, as you may have seen, Jason joined the GitHub chat, and the first question from him is that upstream parameter confuses him a bit, and he asks, so would it not be simpler to just say that there is a conventional ID that can be shared between jobs? And actually, there is a similar proposal from GSoC in the RC chat. So what do you think about it?
Okay, firstly, I don't know, am I still sharing my screen? Is it okay?
Yes, no, there is no secrets in the public chat.
Oh yeah, right, okay. So, jobs. Yes, I know that the upstream parameter may be a bit confusing because there are the upstream and downstream definitions in the Jenkins. But as I said, this currently is an alpha version, and the name of the parameter can be changed in the future. It's not. Yeah, so it's just a name. It's not mandatory to be like this. I don't know. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. Maybe IDs could be also a possible solution. When we started the project, we were heavily discussing usage of fingerprints for tracing allocated workspaces. And once we come to unique IDs, maybe such fingerprints question will be discussed again, and then it will become a great solution.
Oh, yes. Yes, we also have discussed about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, there could be many modes.
I have a question for Alex. I would like to know, in your opinion, what is the most what is at the top of your list for the next steps? I know you have listed lots of hot topics, but what would be the top one for you?
Well, in my opinion, I think that having an automatic workspace cleanup would be necessary because if I don't know, if you get to build a lot of projects, then the disks may become full, and it would be nice to achieve that. And also there are some other features in the backlog that needs to be implemented, like specifying strictly which would be the build number to be used from the upstream job. But I haven't thought exactly of all of them and which would be more prioritized to be achieved. Okay. So I know, did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so are there any other questions?
Yeah, there is ongoing discussion about the workspace cleanup, but actually it's one of the well-known pain points.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I read the discussions.
Yeah, maybe at some point we will integrate new workspace browsing and new workspace cleanup engine, but yeah, it's a long shot right now.
Yeah, it would be nice to have such things.
Yeah. Are there any other questions? Okay, thanks for the feedback. Martin, would you like to say something about the project?
Sure. So the I guess one thing that I was that worked really well is Alex got into coding very early on, even showing examples of code as he was applying to the to become a student with GSoC. So that I was really impressed by that. And in the future, I think there's very good features to develop with around this plugin, and I see Alex growing into, being able to do more and improve. I mean, his presentation skills are really good, and it's been going really well. So I'm very happy with that. Yeah, that's what I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Martin.
Yes, I'm also very positive about the project. We are going ahead the schedule, and it means that maybe we will be able to work on possible integrations and user acceptance testing. I think that one of the main achievements that alpha release has been released ahead the plan. We were planning it to the middle of July, but now we have something that is ready for testing. Obviously, without workspace cleanup, this feature doesn't seem to be ready for production, but it's a good step. And if somebody is interested to test the plugin, we will appreciate any feedback. Personally, I like this feature. I've already started testing it on one of my side projects based on Jenkins, and yeah, I really like the implementation, and seems it can be a good addition to the pipeline ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So if there is no other questions, we can proceed to the third presentation. So, Cynthia, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Can you guys see my presentation?
Yes, we can. Okay. I'm waiting for the presentation to appear on. Yeah, I still don't see the presentation in YouTube. Oh, now it has appeared.
Okay. Yeah. So my name is Cynthia. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm a second-year student at Maximum University. I'm currently learning and specializing on Ruby on Rails. I started contributing to open source projects last year. So I'm working on my project area is Jenkins documentation, specifically working on automatic document publisher. So the problem here was that many plugins documentation are scattered across GitHub and other places. So the idea is to have those plugins documentation into Jenkins.io. So it's to centralize and create a section on Jenkins.io that will contain almost all the plugin documentation. So the main goals is to have a central plugin documentation on Jenkins.io and to automatically publish documentation from GitHub plugin repository into Jenkins.io. So the value for the community. So I feel like this will benefit the community as I said, the documentation will be centralized on Jenkins.io. It's easy to find, to be found by both the developers and the users. The plugin will be up to date. Plugin developers will be encouraged to commit plugin documentation alongside their code. I was trying to define some documentation conventions. I think this will make it easier for plugin developers to document their code following a specific format. Also, having centralized and well-documented plugins makes it easier for users to find and also contribute to the plugins. So the task that I can say I've completed right now is to create basic developer conventions. Still, there are a lot of issues around these conventions. I've not been able to get an agreement yet. I hope that I can do a prototype and then do a proposal, send it out to the developers, and we can get a conclusion after doing all that. So for now, I have a script that can walk through a directory full of folders. So select plugins, folders only, and I can extract either .adoc or MD files from those folders. So I can extract the title and the contents. So the idea is after the extraction, I generate an index page and inject it into Jenkins.io website. Under the docs, I'll create a plugin section for that. So this is just a basic of how I'm planning to work. So merge all the repos, check for plugin folders, check for documentation on master, If it's not on the root, I check the documentation on the branch and pull the docs into Jenkins. So this is just a basic workflow. I was hoping to have a demo by now, but I guess I'll be able to have a demo tomorrow. If it's okay with you guys, I'll be able to do a demo in the guys having the next session. I think for now, yeah. So my plan after the evaluation is to prototype with plugin developers, work on injecting the docs on Jenkins.io. Actually, I plan on working this sooner. Streamline the different file formats, put together a proposal to get agreement among plugins developers, and then update the Jenkins.io build to process and to properly generate plugin documentation. So my self-assessment, I feel that I didn't get into code as soon as I could. I got into code, let's say, very late, and that's like I didn't have a ready prototype by now, and this was not my plan. My plan was to do the prototype after the evaluation, but since it's easier to get good feedback with code, so I decided to jump into the code and work. And also I had an issue with time since I was balancing school and Jenkins, but that is off right now, so I hope that moving forward I'll be able to work on this full time. Yeah.
So I'll wait for questions.
I just wanted to say, if it's okay, I can perhaps do a demo in the second session.
Yes, it's okay, but I'm not sure that Tyler will be available. But okay, why not? So there is a question from KK in the chat. So directory full of folders is meant to be directory full of Git repositories that are checked out. Is it correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, and he's also curious about what is the developer convention right now.
Currently, from what I've seen across most plugin documentation, I think the only document that I can say is that has a basic convention is the changelog. But others, these other documents, I think the most plugin developers are documenting them according to maybe how their plugin works or how they feel they should document it. So there are different formats all across all the plugins.
Okay, and are you going to propose new documentation convention as a part of your project?
Oh, yes.
Because
sorry?
I just meant that since there are some issues with documentation in Jenkins, they are well known and we would like to improve it. That's why we proposed this project at some point. You said that there is no centralized convention for the documentation, and I'm interested if you are going to propose such convention as a part of your project.
Yeah, I plan to do it, to propose a convention. So once the prototype is ready, like and the convention, it will be easy to prototype with maybe 5 plugin developers and just pull those plugin documentation according to the convention and see how they will appear on Jenkins.io. So it's something I'm looking forward to, having a basic documentation convention, all docs that feed me, changelog, tutorial, yeah, all of them.
And if I recall correctly, design of documentation structure was a part of your pre-midterm commitment. I just didn't notice it on the list, and I'm interested how is it going on this direction.
So I didn't catch you on the last part.
So you were planning to present a documentation structure as a part of your mid-term evaluation, so it was in the plan, and I didn't notice it in the self-assessment list, so I'm interested if there is ongoing work on this documentation.
I think Oleg is Cynthia. I think Oleg is speaking about the doc you've been sharing for some weeks now, and where people have reported some comments. And I guess the state of that document isn't currently finalized. I guess. What do you think?
Oh yeah, sorry. On the document, there are some issues that have been raised that I wasn't sure about how to go about them. So as I said earlier, I decided to work through them as I created the prototype, such as embedding, for example, embedding the continuous integration statuses, YouTube videos. So I was finding a way of doing them in code. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Are there any other questions left? I don't see anything in the chats and in YouTube. So if mentors have no questions, we can proceed to the next step.
Nope, that's okay for me. I'm gonna check IRC to see if people are asking questions.
There was one question from KK. In Jenkins channel, there is ongoing discussion between Jenkins and others about pipeline. So I think there is no other questions. So Baptiste and Tyler, would you like to tell something about the project?
Well, not really. I think we are indeed a bit far from the plan, but well, yeah. I think one important thing you just spoke about, Oleg, was indeed to try and gather the requests from developers, and I guess this is still to be done or to be finished at least. Yeah. I guess that's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
So, yeah, we are done with presentations for today. As we discussed with Cynthia, she's going to conduct a demo tomorrow. So after Samad's presentation, there will be a demo from Cynthia. We will also record it, so if you're unable to participate in the next session, just wait till we have a video published on YouTube. And during the first presentation, I've forgotten to ask Arnaud and Steven about the vision of the support core project. So since we have more than 1 hour time left, we could briefly discuss projects if you're interested in, and we can revisit this project.
Sure. So kind of the next steps are to add the, I think he posted the, what do you call it, the anonymize certain components, and then also add some UI components to make it easier to upload support bundles to the OSS tracker, to make it easier for, in the future, diagnosing and troubleshooting certain tickets in Jira, because it's at the moment you have to kind of ask these questions manually. So getting this information, while creating tickets will help, us in the long term troubleshoot open source issues. And I think so far it's managing all of these support bundles. The work that he's done so far has helped out a lot. So after I think Monday, it's going to be merged into the master branch and released as an official, as the next version to be made available for everyone. So
yeah, this is great.
So, right, so getting some information like troubleshooting some information, this will help out a lot for people that use Jira and have their own trackers that need more information sometimes.
It's really important, I think, that all developers, all committers, tries to get up some feedback about what is useful for them, how we can improve this plugin. Thus, we decided of these 3 items that we consider as really important to have a good adoption from the community, from the users, to be able to help us. But at the end, it is a plugin which should be used by every developer, and thus we really need to have your feedbacks about it. Thus, we hope to hear you about this project. Yeah.
All right. There is a question from Tyler in IRC. Are there support core requirements for our infrastructure that should he know? It's mostly a question to me, Nudika.
I'm not sure to understand the question.
If I understand Tyler correctly, he's asking about the integration between support core plugin and Jenkins project infrastructure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Those on our side, the goal is to help with the plugin to submit bundles on behalf of the user. Thus, it won't change anything. The administrator of the Jenkins instance will have to create an account, and we will adjust his creation of tickets and the upload of a support bundle with it. But I don't think that there is more changing. The main change that we could have in the infrastructure side could be the size of the disk to store attachments if we have too much bundles. But that's all what I see for now.
Another potential problem would be to maintain compatibility. For example, when Tyler deployed Jira 7 1 week ago, there were several regressions in our infrastructure components, and we would be interested to somehow take such life cycle into account, because really support core plugin is a great tool for diagnostic. We use it heavily for several projects, and if we integrate with Jenkins infrastructure, it will be great.
Yeah, the goal is to ease its usage. Clearly, it won't be mandatory to use the integration for sure. And also, if Tyler is afraid about upgrades and the recent breakage we had with the bot after the upgrade of Jira, clearly the change of APIs is not really often. I think it in the Jira side. Thus, I'm not really afraid about this problem of compatibility between the super bundle plugin, the super core plugin, and Jira, but it may happen.
Yeah. And do we consider Jira as the only target bug tracker? Because I used to maintain big instances, and for me it was a common question to process reports from my Jenkins installation users. So for me, a support core plugin would be also useful if it would be somehow able to report issues to external bug trackers. And maybe if users can also report issues without involving Jenkins admins. So do you consider it as a part of your project, Minudika?
Yes. Can you ask that question again? Sorry, I have some.
Yeah. So which extensibility features do you consider as a part of your project?
I can't hear you clearly, actually. Can you send that question on the chat?
Okay, just a second. Maybe I'll just let Alex to ask the question. He was going to ask something, right?
Not asking. I said that I have. There is a question on the YouTube asked by someone. So the question is if are there some plans regarding agents running in Docker containers? Asked by Thomas.
Actually, I don't see this question, unfortunately. Not sure why. Okay, I propose to is this question about support core plugin?
No, it's about the external workspace manager plugins.
Okay, let's return to it later.
Okay.
And I suppose that we could also discuss extensibility question in the chat.
Okay.
If it will be more convenient to others.
Okay, sorry for interrupting.
No problem. Yeah. So accepting it. Yeah, I think that we are done with the project if there is no other questions. Okay. So Samat, not Samat, Alex, I think you can just answer your question. So.
Yeah, so maybe I will repeat the question. So the question regarding the external workspace manager plugin was if there are some plans regarding agents running in Docker containers. Well, as far as I know, but also maybe my mentors can help me with this. Currently, we don't have like short-term plans for this, but maybe in the future we can think of it. I don't know. What do you think about this, Oleg?
I would only say that External Workspace Manager is an open source project. So if you have any ideas, please feel free to jump into to discuss them. And of course, if you want to contribute something or if you want to integrate the External Workspace Manager with your custom environment, why not? I suppose we can do it in parallel with GSoC. And if we have more contributors, of course, we will be able to deliver more stuff when this plugin gets released. I think that all Docker integrations are a good topic because Docker is very popular now and it's going to be even more popular. So I think we could consider extension points which would allow to implement such feature in the future.
Okay, so yeah, thank you for your complete answer.
Not an answer, but just a point at how we could proceed on this question.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, are there any questions to other presenters?
I just actually realized there was a comment inside YouTube, but I guess it wasn't obvious to find a way to send the comment through the Q&A. So I just read it. Are there some plans regarding agents running in Docker containers? Question for the external workspace manager plugin. So indeed, it kind of overlaps what you just talked about, Docker containers and Docker in general.
Yeah, actually, I was trying to answer this question.
Yeah,
but actually, even now you can use external workspace manager because Docker allows to define the mounting points in images, and it means that you can easily pre-configure nodes to integrate with external workspace manager plugin. For this purpose, Alex didn't say it, but in external workspace manager plugin there are two modes. Firstly, when you define mappings of disks via node property, this way doesn't work for Docker plugin and whatever. But there is also an opportunity to define a template in the global configuration and link this template to label. So you can define that this template may be mapped. And actually, I suppose that external workspace manager plugin may work even now for such use case, but definitely integrations would be useful.
thanks. And sorry.
No problem. At least I provided more details. So I think that we can follow up in different chats in order to discuss the projects. Cynthia, what is the best way to communicate regarding your project? Because you haven't specified the link, and it would be useful for meeting participants to know how to follow up.
I think I have a mailing list link for the discussion around my project. I'm going to create a new one for the current status since we had loads of comments. I think I'll create a new email thread for the current work that I'm doing.
Okay. Thank you. So I think we are done with this session, and we are going to have another session tomorrow. Samad, he's online, is going to present his work about the Jenkins Web UI improvements for job configuration and creation screens. So it's a work in Jenkins core, and it's one of the very challenging projects because he's working in parallel with ongoing UX changes in Jenkins too. So please join this session. It should be interesting, and of course there will be cool demos. And tomorrow there will be also a demo from Cynthia regarding your automated plugin documentation publishing. So that's all for today, and see you tomorrow.
Okay, see you again.
Okay, thank you.
See you, and thanks for organizing that.
Yeah, thanks a lot to all mentors and students for working on these projects and for preparing these presentations. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.